So now we've mastered how to use text prompts in different styles, how to use an image as an inspiration for our artwork. Now we're moving on to parameters. This is the third part of the prompt, and this gives you the most technical proficiency in defining what you want inside of Midjourney. We're going to be looking at aspect ratio, which is exporting the images at different sizes. So instead of just the basic square version that we've been using, you'll be able to create vertical images, landscaped images, and much, much more. We'll also be looking at other commands which will allow you to tell the algorithm to not include something inside of the image. We'll look at adding different weights of importance to the images that we're using, and we'll explore how to change the quality of the images being outputted by Midjourney. So we're back in our Midjourney bot channel. We're going to kick it off with our standard imagine command, /imagine. Then pick a prompt that you want to be using for today. So I'm going to be using Happy Leopard Cyberpunk Woman for today. And we're going to look at the aspect ratio first of all. So to use aspect ratio, what you have to do is type in --AR. Make sure there's no space between the -- and the AR. Now you can enter in what ratio you would like the width and height to have on your image. So by standard, it is 1:1, but we can change that to be horizontal. For example, if we put in 16:9, we will get a landscape image. So the first number refers to the width, and the second number to the height. So now you can just send this into Midjourney and wait to see what we get. You can already see in the composition being generated in the chat that it is a landscape image. Now, if we're going to do the reverse and type in imagine, put in the same prompt, but this time reverse the numbers, what do you think we're going to get? Well, we're going to get vertical images. Now this is great if you're planning to perhaps use your images on social media. You're going to want to use the right aspect ratio. Reels are vertical formats where 9:16 works very well. If you're doing an Instagram post, just a normal post, then you want to use 4:5. This is slightly larger than square and it works best for Instagram posts. If, however, you're looking to use it on a website or full screen on a normal display, you're going to be wanting to use something like 16:9. Now, there's a couple of points that it's important to remember here, is that the ratio gets normalized. So it doesn't matter what type of ratio you're using, it gets scaled down to the standard pixel exports. For example, an aspect ratio of 3:2 is the same as 1920 by 1280. In both cases, the resolution will be 384 by 256 pixels. Also, only certain ratios are supported, and if your ratio is not supported, then the closest supported ratio will be used. And here we can see our examples of the 16:9 Cyberpunk Woman and the 9:16, and you can see these are vertical. So the next command I'm going to introduce you to is no, and that will simply ask Midjourney to exclude something from its generation. This can be really useful on colors or certain types of objects. Let's see how that works. So let's show you how this works. If you type in your normal imagine prompt and we go with the landscape, we're going to add in the no command and add in trees. So to use this, it's similar to all our other parameters. We just have a -- with no space, then the command no, and then you put in a space and add in what it is that you're looking to remove from the image. And then we have it. We can see we've created a landscape, but in this case, it has not included any trees. So this can be very useful for refining your work. If you have a particular idea in mind of what you want, then you can remove it. So I encourage you to be creative here and try it yourself. Let's see what you come up with. Perhaps you want to create a portrait with no eyes. So the next command I'm going to introduce you to is image weight. And what that does is it tells Midjourney how much inspiration to take from an image compared to the text prompt part of your prompt. So if we put in imagine and we add in a photo, I'm going to use this one from Unsplash of this woman here. We then add in our text prompt. So I'm going to have flower explosion. Then we can add in our image weight command, which is --iw. Now, you can enter a value between 0 and 1. A value of 1 makes your image URL just as important for the generation as your text prompt. The default is 0.25. So let's put in 1. And we'll also run the command again, the same with imagine, with the same image, the same command image weight, IW, and then we'll add in the value 0.1. So now we've got these two images that have been generated using different image weights, 0.1 and 1. Let's take a closer look at the difference. So this is the one with the image weight of 1, comparing that to the original image that we were using. So it should be more like this image than others. You can see that it does have some resemblance to the lines and the color palette from here. If we can look at the second image, which should be less like the original image, we can see that it is indeed much less similar. Now, you may have noticed here that I've got a message from Midjourney, and that's because I've run out of fast hours. And as I was referring to in a subscription model, you only get a certain amount of hours to use on the fast mode in Midjourney. After that, you'll build incrementally, and you can either go into relax, which is where it will perform its image generation slowly, or you can select one of the different units here. After that, it will run through that amount of money and notify you again if you need to upgrade. So I'm going to stick another $10 on. Now here's another example of image weights using the same base image of this lady. And this time we're giving it the text prompt that is more similar to the concept of the image. And we can see that it's really combined those elements together. There we have it. In this lesson, we've introduced you to some of the most basic parameters available. We've gone through aspect ratio, which is --AR, and then the ratio of the image that you want to export, which allows you to export either vertical portrait or horizontal landscape images. We've looked at excluding elements from the generated images using the no command, which is --no followed by the object or the color that you would like to remove. And we've looked at image weights, where you can increase or decrease the amount of influence an image has compared to the text part of your prompt. In the next lesson, we'll go into more depth and some of the most advanced commands in the parameters section that you can use in Midjourney.